Please help me to welcome everybody, Mr. Meet Sangvi here. And I want to request the management team here, can you just remove the chairs?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure having you all here and having gathered here for this conclave. It's our second conclave, if I'm not wrong. Thank you for your presence. So just an introduction on my company. I represent Kemko Corporation from Bombay. We are a pan-India company. We distribute just one product, that is titanium dioxide. We're the largest company in India for distribution of titanium dioxide. I can assure you nobody does more volumes, bigger volumes than we do. So moving on. So as you're aware, you must have probably heard about the products RC822 and 6618. These are the most popular products in paint currently. And we are the sole distributors for Shandong Jinhai. That is the manufacturer of 6618. We import the entire bulk volume of this product in India, and we distribute it across the country. We are also the largest distributor for KMML across India. We are the largest distributor since the last 4 years. We've been supplying to all corporate companies, to medium-scale companies, to small-scale companies, from our warehouses, from the factory itself, and also through some distributors. We are also a distributor for Lomon Billions, which is the world's largest manufacturer of titanium dioxide sulfate process. We also represent Tronox for their plastic products. We represent Tycon also for their plastic products. And we're a distribution agency for polymers. That is HDPE, polypropylene, and LLDPE. So a lot of you are familiar with Mr. Yogesh Sangvi. He's my father who started the company back in 1993. He belonged to he had meager beginnings, and he's a man he's made himself basically. And he used to work as a trainee in a company called Chemox Chemicals. It used to be a big trading house in Bombay. He then went on to start his chemical brokerage career. He used to be a broker for several chemicals, out of which then he realized that there is potential in titanium dioxide, and he picked up this product. And today we do what we do. So we distribute titanium dioxide on a large scale. So that's me. I joined my business in 2016. I'm a chemical engineer by academic qualifications. I'm also an MBA in family managed businesses. So I've been in the titanium dioxide line only since the last 7 years, and I handle the bulk of distribution and marketing and sales in this company. And I'm also chemically sound, and I can actually technically help a few applications in paints and plastics. Mr. Mukesh is also here. He's also been with us since 2005. He's also a working partner in the company, and you might be associated with him in some form or the other. So as we all know, India is a diverse country with large geographical reach. So it's not enough to import only at one port and distribute from that port itself. So my company imports titanium dioxide across all 4 ports, all 4 major ports in India. We imported Mundra, Nhava Sheva, Kolkata, and Chennai. Most of our deliveries that are half container loads or container loads, that is either 20 tons or 10 tons, are directly from port itself. That helps in reducing cost, that helps in managing the product better, it helps in preventing adulteration of the product. We have the lowest lead times across the country. Any orders can be fulfilled within maybe a couple of days or 3 days at the most. Our pricing is as good as direct import pricing for local deliveries. On-call material in a couple of days and at the price of imported, self-import products. So I'm going to show you some photos of our warehouses and the way we store and we handle our goods. We have palletized cargo only, and the pallets are also shrink wrapped. This is done to prevent loss of material, adulteration. This is how goods are stored in our warehouses across India, and this is how they are delivered. This is how you get them at your own factory. Even local deliveries that are, say, 1 ton or 2 ton orders, we are okay with delivering the goods in pallets, even if the order is just 1 ton or 2 tons. So as you're all aware, we have two types of titanium dioxide, two types of processes of manufacturing of titanium dioxide. One is the sulfate process and the other is the chloride process. So the basic differences have been listed out between the two processes. As we can see, as you're aware, sulfate process is cost effective and it's on the lower end cost-wise. Chloride process requires high priced raw materials, and that's why the cost of the product is higher. The basic raw materials required to manufacture sulfate process TiO2 are ilmenite and sulfuric acid or sulfur. And the basic raw materials required to manufacture chloride process TiO2 are hydrochloric acid or chlorine and ilmenite. The weathering resistance of sulfate process products generally is on the lower end, lower side, which means that the issues with yellowing, issues with color fading are seen more often in sulfate process TiO2. Whereas in chloride, we have high weatherability and high resistance to fading, high resistance to yellowing. Mostly sulfate process products are manufactured in China. The maximum capacity of manufacturing of sulfate process products is in China only. Whereas chloride process products are manufactured in Australia, in Saudi Arabia, in the USA. And also we have our own manufacturer in India itself, KMML. As you're aware, it's a chloride process manufacturing company. So overall, paint segment has the largest share of TiO2 consumption, and it's large by far. Around 70% consumption of TiO2 is in paints. So I'm going to give you a brief on what the global market is for paints, the global growth rate, the Indian growth rate, and the Indian market size for paints. So as we can see, the global market is somewhere around $175 billion. And the Indian market is approximately $8 billion, which is approximately 3 to 4% of the size of the global market. On the contrary, if you see, the growth rate across the globe is around 3 to 4% annually, whereas in the Indian market, the growth rate has always been in 2 digits, above 12%. Apart from the years of 2020 and 2021 and 2022, that is because of COVID, our growth rates were around 5 to 6%. But the paint segment has historically grown in double digits only. And you should all be proud of this. We should be proud of this because we have been growing significantly. And we have ample scope in the future in India. So as we all know, the government has been pushing for infrastructure development. Roads are being built. Rural populations are shifting to urbanized centers. And this has got a huge boom in the housing sector as well. So the demand for paints is going to go up and already has been growing. So we are going to see a lot of shift of the paint consumption to the decorative segment as well and the road marking segment. A lot of small companies, there are trends that we see, and me being the second generation of my own company, I think I have the right to say this. A lot of our second generation is not entering businesses like paints or manufacturing because they think that they want white collar jobs and something that they can understand and they can, go to an office, sit and come back home. But the push from the elders or the push from the family is absent somewhere, and there is not enough motivation in terms of, say, income or in terms of the values that we set in the next generation. And I believe that a lot of people need to be pushed, and this has to be shown, the growth path has to be shown to them, that we can expand this business, we can get to a level where we're a pan-India company or a regional company, not a local company. And this push has to come, and for the MSMEs of the paint industry to survive, I think this is essential. That's the need of the hour. A lot of MSMEs, in our experience, we believe that their formulations are still outdated, or they're running on obsolete products or old products or expensive products, whereas their competitors, the larger companies, have replaced those formulations with cheaper products. And technically, I understand that every formulation is different and every manufacturer uses their own recipe, but somewhere we believe that the MSME and the small paint companies have this lacking element where they cannot match up to the bigger companies because of their lack of understanding of the technical product. And their willingness to try is somewhere not seen. We also see that smaller paint companies buy their raw materials from unauthorized channels. This leads to a lot of things. So when you buy from an importer, a lot of margins have been passed on to the distributors, then to the other distributor, and then to the customer. So what happens, and also there's a chance of the product getting damaged, getting adulterated, or you're just losing out on the margins that they're charging you. On the finished product sides, we also see that companies that are local have remained local for so long. There is no fixed path to expand their market share or to go to the market and make it a national level company or a local regional company, because we are content in what we're doing and how we're doing and the way things have been going on for so long. There have to be changes made in, and this is where the younger generation steps in. Like, I can proudly say that we were also a local company maybe 10 years back, and we're a national level company now. So change comes with time, and it has to be pushed. So about our most selling product, that is 6618. This is the manufacturing company that manufactures the product 6618. They have 3 products for the paint segment, that is 6618, 6628, and 6668. Their most popular product, although, is 6618 because it's universally accepted in both solvent-based and water-based paints. The capacity of manufacturing is 250,000 tons per annum. So they're a state-owned company owned by Shandong Lubei Group. This is what the packaging looks like. Of late, they've also started manufacturing chloride processed TiO2. The chloride process plant is manufacturing around 60,000 tons annually. So the final question that concludes my presentation is, why Kemko? Why should you get associated with Kemko, and what is your benefit in that? So we work on the lowest margins possible. So if you know, for years, TiO2 has been a specialty product. It's been a low volume, high margin product. But we've been doing high volumes and low margins since the last many years. So a customer that gets tied up with Kemko remains with Kemko for the longest time because nobody can match our prices. I can assure you we're the cheapest in India. We also have the lowest lead times. So a lot of customers, sometimes the plant is stuck, inventory is over, there's a stock gap arrangement needed. We supply within a day or two maximum. We also have salespeople, dedicated salespeople in all regions. There's a point of contact for each and every customer. And all your needs, all your requirements shall be serviced within one phone call. We also have 19 grades of TiO2 in all. So we have products for each and every application that you require. We also get you some direct support from the manufacturer themselves. They can help you out in the kind of formulations you require, the kind of support you need on technical assistance. So I'm open to questions if there are any questions. Thank you so much. You've been a patient audience. Thank you so much.